What is your top three then? What is your actual top three there, Zex?
So I have 3 categories of top 3.
Sure.
So, I'm going to start with the one that you guys already know, which is Isaac. So Isaac, to me, is one of my top 3 in replayability.
Okay.
It doesn't necessarily do everything perfectly. Like, the story is a little convoluted, but the fact that I can play that game for over 1,000 hours and not have the same run twice is insane to me. That I'd never get tired of it. Like, and I love those types of games where it never feels the same to play through it twice.
Okay.
So, but in this case, it was a lot. So, make your comments.
So the finger of acknowledgement goes up. How important to you, if you had to divide like 10 pieces, 10 points, if you will, among like art, music, gameplay, and story, how important, how many points does story get out of you? Because that,
what kind of game I'm playing.
I'm talking Isaac, baby.
So, okay, here, I'll give you a perfect example.
Go ahead.
The way Hades did its story was far superior to Isaac. Far superior. Hades is probably my top number one if you were looking at roguelikes with story.
Sure.
Hades by far destroys Isaac when it comes to that. Now, the gameplay is not as fun as Isaac. Okay. And the gameplay is more important to me when I play a roguelike. I need it to be fun. And it is fun to play Hades, don't get me wrong. But I got tired of playing Hades gameplay because it is the same. There's not that much diversity when it comes to like how the power-ups interact and that kind of stuff.
Sure.
But with Isaac's item pool, you have like 850 something items and they all interact in weird ways. So you can play it for 1,000 hours and never see the same thing twice.
Sure. So 0 points in story then? What's that?
Like what in a roguelike?
Yeah.
I have a category for story.
In Isaac.
Story is like 1. Yes.
Where the
like
mom.
If I had 10 points to
sure,
go
10
out,
points. 10 points just
1 or 2 points for story.
Okay.
Like 2 max.
Where the mom goes crazy and
yeah.
tries to kill the son, and the son suffocates in a chest. That's what it takes to get a point out of you.
Yeah, I mean it's fine.
All right.
I think it's fair to have different criteria for what you look for in a game because, like, I look at games like I said, I mentioned Chrono Trigger is one of my favorites, and that's a very story intensive game.
Yes.
Whereas you guys got to experience it through the original Decathlon. One of my favorite games, Tecmo Superbowl, which it's a football game. There's no story involved. But I love it for different reasons because I'm a sports fan. I grew up with that game. I love football, so that would make my list. Whereas it's just completely different things that attract me to that game than a game like Chrono Trigger or a game like City of Heroes.
And that's why I like he was going all roguelikes. I'm like, no, Isaac. Because each game is going to be different makeup of what you get out of it, what you enjoy out of it. Like how
so for Isaac, I enjoy the replayability. That is
the gameplay,
yeah, and how much there is to do. Like if I want to do something that is going to keep me busy for a long time,
sure,
Isaac, easy.
Fair enough. How many points into that 4 distribution would you give something like Shadow the Hedgehog?
If I had 10?
Yeah, 10 points.
10 points to a game, I would throw all of the ones for Shadow in the trash and not give them Shadow at all.
The negatives.
The negatives, yes.
That's
Burn
not
that.
Fair. That's not fair. All 10 points go to the intro song.
Exactly. Aurethious knows what's up. That intro song was fantastic. That was so good.
Cringy as fuck is what that was.
You didn't. Come on. It was dated.
No, so there was some definite cringe in that game.
Yeah.
Like a lot like pretty much all of the dialogue. But like that song was a legit good song.
Yeah, that song.
I will give it a half of a point for the opening song being not garbage, but everything else gets thrown in the trash for that game.
I don't know.
The controls were terrible. The dialogue was terrible. The plot was horrible. Like, the boss designs were terrible.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything that was redeeming about that game at all.
The thing I didn't get about that game, and maybe it was a reference to like other games, like other Shadow games or other Sonic games.
Sure.
But that whole opening thing, like where there's like that, it's like a dream sequence or something, and he wakes up yelling Maria, and like, who the hell was Maria?
Maria. Well, wait.
I know.
Lad is the Sonic expert here. Lad, who was Maria?
It was Robotnik's grandfather's daughter.
Robotnik's grandfather's daughter. So his aunt. Robotnik's aunt was Maria.
I guess to be fair too is we didn't like explore that game at all, because there's like because we joke about the convoluted way that Flair wanted to score that game originally, and because apparently there's like the good path, there's like the neutral path, and like the evil path. So I'm guessing there was like things that we just didn't experience or see because we went the path of least resistance.
Where the branching path of the story looked like a reverse Christmas tree. Just fucking...
Yeah. So maybe Maria was explained and we just didn't see it.
Maria! No, it's Shadow the Hedgehog is just...
a blight upon the earth.
When you talk about those things where, like, you know, it's like a meme among the Ion Game Corner group, that is one of the biggest ones, I think. That's bigger than targeting. That's bigger than anything else. Is the fucking Shadow the Hedgehog.
That's the lasting image or like thoughts of Shadow with me. It's I like the song.
Yeah.
I didn't like the game. Zex hated the game.
Zex hated the game.
And Trash was just defeated by the game. Like that's my take.
All around
Flair,
terrible experience.
And Flair was just so disappointed by the fact that he genuinely wanted us to enjoy it, and like nobody liked it.
That is the funniest part. Is that in the end, everyone got hurt on some degree. Like different frustrations, different sort of. Even Flair himself was like, "You guys are just." Well, in the intro too, it says for that video, "You guys are just part of the camp that doesn't want to give it a shot." He says before playing his fucking game.
No.
I guess they were part of the guys who just hated the game. It's like, holy
Come here, Rouge.
I mean, I played that better than more than Tony Hawk. So
yeah, which
Flair games, by the way.
Well, that's true too. Yeah, I love Tony Hawk though. Tony Hawk is a great game. Thug 2 is fucking peak Tony Hawk.
That was the most disappointing game for me in the entire Decathlon that year, because I was expecting to really like it because I liked Tony Hawk 1. I played the shit out of that on N64, and then I played that game, and I was like, this is fucking horrible.
Really? Are you saying a game from the same franchise 25 years apart was different?
Was that 25 years apart? I don't think it was that far.
Fucking long time apart.
It was out in what,
97?
No.
Yeah,
I'm looking it up
too.
right now.
I'm doing it right now. Wait, so you're talking the first Tony Hawk's Underground or the first Tony Hawk game period?
First Tony Hawk game.
Tony Hawk game period.
Oh, okay.
So
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that was 1999.
1999, and Thug 2 was 2004.
So 5 years.
5 years?
Yeah, 5 years.
Think about how many kids were born and died in those 5 years. Think about that shit. Yeah.
Think of how many children were born and killed for the creation of this game.
Think about how many kids suffered from SIDS in that time. How many babies fell out of open windows?
Think about how many times Tony Hawk was depressed during that time.
Yeah. Tony Hawk in those 5 years, he really did become suicidal, didn't he? He's a husk of his former self.
Oh, poor Tony.
Hey, Like it's so bad now.
Did
Like,
anyone ever tell you kind of look like Tony Hawk?
it's so bad now. He's in such a bad space. You can literally go up to him and be like, "Oh man, you're Tony Hawk, aren't you?" Yeah, I guess. he doesn't even know. He's fucking so disappointed in his life. His shins are all fucked up. He did a video there last year, I want to say, maybe the year before, just real soon, real recently, and it almost brought a tear to my eye because it was called "The Last 900 I'll Do." Because even he realizes I'm getting fucking old, man. He's like 50. He's deep 50, mid to deep 50s. Like, he can't be doing 900s skateboarding and shit. Pretty soon he's going to have to fucking have a walker for his shitty hips. Poor guy.
Mm.
So what?
To think the only guy that aged well all those games was Bob Burnquist.
Bob Burnquist is, I don't know what it is about Brazilians. He looks fucking perfectly healthy 25-year-old, him being old as fuck too. So, Binding of Isaac's your number 1. Shadow the Hedgehog's your number 2. What's your number 3?
Shadow the Hedgehog is not my number 2.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so in the realm of story-wise,
okay,
I'm gonna go with this one's the hardest one for me because I've played so many good story games.
Sure.
But I'm gonna do all 3 Arkham games because I really, really like the voice acting in it and the plot of Arkham Asylum that translated into Arkham City, that translated into Arkham Knight, was really good. Like,
right.
What they did with the story, it was so good. It was like peak comic book, like all the coolest shit that you would ever read in a comic book. I feel like they did a really good job of putting those 3 big pieces together, or all, like the whole story across all 3 games, and they were really fun to play. Not counting the Riddler trophies.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, disregarding the whole Riddler trophy fucking joke, right? I think everyone here agrees, like, whether it's one or all of them, those Arkham games were really well built. I only played the first one and a little bit of the second one, and I'm like, fuck yeah, that game rules.
It's been very, very rare instances in games where I've liked the game so much that even the side quests are interesting. Sure. That is a good example of a game that has amazing side quests. I actually cared about everything I did in that game.
I have a question.
Oh,
do you count Arkham Origins as a part of the series?
No.
Really? I kind of like that game, and I do count it.
It was okay. I ran into a game-breaking bug that basically fucked me in that game, and I still 100%ed it, but it really pissed me off enough that I was like, I'm never playing this shit again. I only count the 3 as the core. Plus, they got a different Joker voice actor for that, which wasn't Mark Hamill, which pissed me off too, because I love Mark Hamill as Joker. He is by far the best thing.
Oh yeah, I love Mark Hamill's Joker. It was so great for him too. In Final Fantasy VII, to him be the Joker again for Don Vito, yeah, it's great. Boy, he's really got a lot of diversity. That Mark Hamill, fucking yuck, fucking Mark Hamill. Fucking hack.
Kevin Conroy is the voice of Batman. There is no one else that can be Batman.
I don't know. I don't mind.
Adam West.
Yeah, exactly. Adam West is the fucking voice.
Still not as good. Kevin Conroy is Batman. Can
you imagine if they have had the balls to get Adam West to just like, even for DLC, to record all the lines for the game? I would absolutely switch that shit over so good.
They did have the 60s Batman costume in it.
They sure did. Fucking ruled, man. You even had your fucking evil Mark Hamill Joker. I put a disease in your water. And then he's like, well, I will have to get the bat pills out to fucking deionize that son of a bitch.
Get me the bat shark repellent.
yeah. Fucking, let me get my bat Joker away gun. It's a fucking revolver.
I just want the Joker skin to be Cesar Romero.
yeah, Cesar Romero Joker.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
C's mustache.
Why can't they have superior Joker? Where's Jared Leto? God damn it!
Oh, fuck him.
Oh, fuck him.
He's trolling you, I think. Lad.
Who doesn't like fucking gold teeth, platinum fucking... Go on with you.
There are a lot of games that I would put in my top 3 for story, but
Yeah.
that one comes to mind as the one I enjoyed playing through the most, and I was so hooked on the story.
Sure.
Like the other examples are like God of War, across all that franchise. That was a really good story. I liked it. It got progressively worse, but overall, it was an interesting story. Last of Us 1 is one of my favorite games story-wise. And let's see, Horizon Zero Dawn. That one was a good one because I had no idea what was coming for it. That was a good example. Nier, perfect example. Nier is got me hooked. I haven't finished it yet, but that game has got me hooked on the story. That one might go in my top 3 when I finish it, depending on how it ends.
Would you now? Ready? Here's the thing. Yoko Taro Games, that's the creator, are weird. Well, are you going to go back and do the first one?
I don't know.
They did.
It's going to depend on how this one ends.
They just made a remake of it a year ago.
Is that what that
Replicant?
Replicant, yeah.
With
that's a remake of one.
With the pi fucking numbers after, like 1.10. Yeah, that's the remake of number 1 because they said, listen, people love number 2. People don't remember number 1. Let's make number 1 more like number 2. You know, and that's me saying that who's anti-remake.
And so you approve of this remake?
No, I didn't say that. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm saying I probably will try it. I probably will throw money at it because I love number 2 so fucking much.
It is on my wish list on Steam, but it has to go on deep discount before I'll buy it. Just like everything that's on my wish list.
Nah, that's fucking fair. And it will eventually, too. That's what I like with Steam. It will eventually.
It's been on sale a couple times. It's just not cheap enough yet.
Yeah, I'll wait until it gets to like 30 cents.
Yeah.
All right, well then, lad, it wouldn't be fair if we didn't ask you too, Sugar. What are your 3 top faves?
You skipped my third one.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I thought you...
I mean, it's the theme. You skipped my third one too. I ended up pigeonholing it in when I mentioned Tecmo Superbowl. But...
Well, I thought fucking that was the same thing too here, Mr. Like fucking. Because here's my thing, you know, I figured top 3, and then it sounded like you were cramming top 7 into the fucking third slot there. Well, I fucking love Nier. I love fucking Whoopi Goldberg.
Those are other games that I would put in that category that I'm talking about.
Aurethious, what was your number 3 favorite that's not Tecmo?
I just said I pigeonholed it as Tecmo Superbowl.
Do you actually like Tecmo Superbowl? Would you actually call it your third?
Yeah.
You like Tecmo better than Madden?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Even Lad went, ooh.
Only for the reason of we're talking from a single game perspective.
Sure.
Because as a franchise as a whole, I've probably played and enjoyed a lot more of Madden. But Tecmo Superbowl, the original NES Tecmo Superbowl,
yeah,
that single game is probably the sports game I have put the most amount of time in my life, and I've gone back to it. And that's not even taking into consideration modded versions recently, where people are modding it and adding like more current rosters. I'm talking about the original NES game. I played that so much.
But not because I mean, Zexxios said something similar. Oh, Isaac, because I've put the most time into it. Not just because of time, right? Like you're saying, more time is indicative of you liking it.
Yes.
Because like I've put tons of time into games and they don't make my top 3. Like I've played easily like 200 fucking hours of Crossout. It doesn't make my top 3.
I just for me, the reason why I put Tecmo Superbowl there is I feel like it's actually a historic sports game, in the sense that it was one of the first games to have full teams, full rosters, the ability to track stats over a season.
Yeah.
Like that is, I mean, it was, granted, it's not the purest sim of a football game, because like there's no penalties and like the clock goes super fast and whatever. But I think just for, again, the ability to play through a season, to track your progress, to track your stats, like that sort of set the bar for where simulation football games went from there.
Well, that's very fair. Well, lad, do you agree with that? Tecmo versus Madden?
Yeah, I can agree with that.
You say Tecmo is the superior
perspective. No.
You're more Madden.
Oh,
I
I
think
grew up with Madden, so
I was gonna say I think there's also an age thing too. I mean, like so Tecmo,
Yeah.
the original Tecmo Super Bowl released in 1991.
Mhm.
So
Oh, wow.
I mean, that's again, I'm 10 years old at that point. Like that's my childhood.
I
That
wasn't
game
even
is
born
like
yet.
a big part of my childhood. And like like I said, I love the Madden games. I love like aside from the last couple of years, which have been kind of a disaster.
They suck.
But I just I love the franchise building aspect of those games. But again, if like gun to my head and I have to pick up one football game to play, it's Tecmo Super Bowl.
I do enjoy Tecmo decently, but I would say Madden is more my speed because of all the extra shit. Like my favorite stuff to do, I don't even really care about playing. I'll go in franchise mode and just fuck with rosters and everything, and then just sim my games. Just like, I don't give a fuck about the game. Back to management. Lovely.
I've wanted to do that on stream. I've wanted not necessarily sim the games, but do like a franchise mode and like watch the games like with chat basically, and then do almost like a group think general manager mode where like chat gets to influence the roster moves and stuff like that. I just don't know. I've never had that crossover with my typical audience. It's not a bunch of not many sports fans among the Pokemon kids.
Pokey
But
nerds.
yeah. So, but I mean, it's something I would like to do eventually. Maybe I don't know if there was enough interest in doing it because I love that aspect. I love the team building. I love all that stuff.
Well, I was saying too, like Zexxios here, you don't give a fuck about sports, right?
No.
No. You enjoyed Tecmo decently, didn't you?
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah, I thought so
And
too.
I played Madden when I was in high school a lot
there you go.
as well. So, but if I had to pick one, I would pick Madden. But I can see why someone would like Tecmo, because I grew up during that era as well. So,
yeah,
having never played Tecmo, I mean, like, it wasn't bad. It was fine.
I enjoyed it. I would prefer. Was that?
I didn't hate it. Yeah.
Boy, I thought I misheard completely. Yeah, no, I prefer Madden for sure, but no, I had fun with both. So your number 3 legitimately would be Tecmo then.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, then Zex. I cut you off as well, I guess. What is your number 3? Near Drakengard. Go ahead.
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring. It's not even out yet. I fucking love it.
Can't be Elden Ring, but it is in that vein, and it's Bloodborne. Because Bloodborne is probably one of my favorite RPG-like games to play that I've ever played. It's one of the only Souls game. It's the only Souls game that I've played through twice fully and beaten every boss.
That's the easiest, right?
Depends on your definition of easy.
Comparatively.
Yeah, probably. It's slightly easier than... I mean, Sekiro being the hardest. Sekiro is by far the hardest Dark Souls game. Or Souls game.
Yeah.
And then, like, right in the middle is probably... Dark Souls 3 is in the middle of difficulty. But easiest would be, like, Bloodborne and DS1, probably.
Oh,
but I'd say Bloodborne's slightly easier than DS1.
Bloodborne's...
Just because it's not as clunky.
Bloodborne's thematically interesting. Like, I played Demon Souls... And I'm like, okay, gameplay's not for me, but I get it. I do get it. Bloodborne at least has got that whole gothic vibe to it, like Victorian gothic, which is
the game has such awesome environments in it. It just fully immerses you in it. And I mean, the plot is very convoluted, just like all Souls games, and you really have to dig to get it.
Yeah.
But it's pretty good. The plot is pretty good of it.
Yeah.
And the boss design in that game is mind-blowing.
Sure.
Like, some of the horrific things that they came up with as bosses in that just blow my mind, and I love it. Especially being a horror guru. I just love stuff that's horror-related, and the monsters across most of the Souls games are crazy detailed and awesome-looking. But Bloodborne in particular, I think, has some of the best monster designs out of all the Souls games.
Dude, you're in this fucking Victorian sewer, right? Up to your fucking armpits and bubonic plague and rats. And then from underneath the feces comes a Shadow the Hedgehog with a big pecker and 3 guns. Oh my god, how scary.
Oh god, the boss bar has shown up. No.
Yeah. Holy shit. It's asking, I was gonna do old cliche. It's asking me to save, and something bad must be happening. I guess that's part of the whole thing with that game. There is no saving.
Nope.
You can't save your dirty soul.
The saving is just reaching a bonfire.
And just running away.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
or a lantern in Bloodborne's case.
Fair enough. Well, fair enough. That's very you, that top 3.
Mm-mm.
Now for something completely out of left field.
Yes.
Yes.
Lad. Give us some of your top 3. Was it Custer's Revenge?
I'm actually really interested to hear Lad's because, like, Lad doesn't stream.
No.
So I mean, we know Lad through mostly your stream trash and our interactions on Discord and everything, and then the times he does come to our streams. But I don't really have a good feel of where this is going to go, so I'm very interested. I'm on the edge of my seat for this.
It's great too because he's so private, and yet he'll fucking shit on anything anyone else talks about. He was fucking great, dude. We were doing the Pokemon breeding stream yesterday, and anytime something hatched, he found a way to just make fun of the people. Like, oh look, a skunk because you fucking stink. Like, holy shit. Or the best one. I felt like such a dummy yesterday. Comfy gets born, the little flower necklace thing, right? And Lad in chat says, oh, look, SFG, a laid, something you'll never get. And I went, haha, that's brutal. 5 minutes pass and I go, holy shit, Comfy is a laid. I get it. It was just so fucking mean.
That was a good one. I was laughing about that when you posted it.
Fucking good. It was just, I was embarrassed that it was like a 5-minute delay. But it's great. I got to enjoy the joke twice on 2 different levels. But yes, top 3 from a Lad. First time ever.
Oh boy, prepare to be disappointed.
I'm ready. Battle Raper 2. Great play.
So, for my gaming history, pretty much, when I was a kid, I didn't screw around with any, like, the RPGs, first-person shooters. It was pretty much sports games, wrestling games. That was it as a kid for me.
That checks out.
Yeah, so it wasn't until later on, and this game's going to be on my list for sure, Sly 2, Band of Thieves.
Okay, from the Sly Cooper, sure.
That broke my mold of just watching wrestling games. And I love that series to this day. Number 4 could go to hell.
Wait a sec, though. What the fuck was it that about Sly that you're sitting there playing wrestling and you go, oh, I'll have some of that? Was it Carmelita's fox-based ass? That Spanish animal ass.
No.
Come on.
No, it was the gameplay, and it was the interactions between the gang, pretty much.
Okay.
That got me to go, oh, that's actually kind of fun.
So you're saying after playing sports games, something with a story blew your mind. Oh my God, they're talking. There's dialogue here. This is amazing.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, oh, this is actually pretty fun, and I started opening up a little bit. But if I had, so that's my number 1.
Okay.
If I had to put in a sports/wrestling game,
sure,
it's gonna be WWF SmackDown 2. Know your role.
I mean, look at the other 3. The other 3 people, which is kind of like,
I mean, I can comment on this because I've played a lot of those wrestling games, and I find that one interesting because usually you get either No Mercy for the N64, as a lot of people's go-to, or if it's in like that SmackDown, like PlayStation era one,
SmackDown 2 would have been mine.
It's usually Here Comes the Pain.
Yes.
So I'm interested to hear about Know Your Role because it's been a long time since I played that, and I've probably forgotten more about it than I remember.
I want to see this cover.
So I'm curious as to what specifically about that one puts it on the list for Lad.
Wait a sec. I agree with Lad. SmackDown 2 for the PS1. I do agree.
Yes.
This game fucking ruled. All right, back to Lad. I'm on board now.
So, number 1, I played a lot of it. because I did not have the N64, and when I eventually got the PS2, though, I played that for a little bit, but I always kept going back to number 2 because I just enjoyed it a lot. It had probably one of my favorite rosters at the time, and an era that I kind of grew up with, though. So it's like, oh, I remember.
Was that just before or just after the invasion?
Just before the invasion.
Okay.
Yeah, just before Fred Durst got put in the game.
I get that reference.
I played the original SmackDown a lot. Was that a PS1? I guess that was PS1, right?
Yeah. I played that on stream last year.
Yeah. So I played 3 major wrestling games, which was WrestleMania 2000 on the N64, No Mercy on the N64, and SmackDown, because that was when I was into wrestling. But I always thought that SmackDown was probably my second favorite of all of them. But I don't know what they changed between SmackDown 1 and SmackDown 2. I guess they just added more features, right?
Well, the only reason Go ahead.
Yeah, pretty much just more features. The Creator Wrestler was very improved, even though
that was one of the drawbacks of the first one. The Creator Wrestler was largely garbage in the first one.
Well, and in SmackDown too, that's why I remember creating my wrestler, and the reason I liked it so much was because there was a story mode with your wrestler, but you can do like behind the scenes shit. There was like cutscenes, like Michael Cole's running up to you with his all denim fucking suit, interviewing your guy, and then you could choose like push him to the ground and go to the ring and shit. I'm like, yeah, Attitude Era. And I don't honestly remember. I didn't play too many wrestling games afterwards. I played a couple of SmackDown versus Raws. I never remember something quite that in depth sort of thing as far as seeing your character do shit.
Yeah.
Lad, do you still play wrestling? Like more current wrestling games?
Every once in a while, yeah.
Okay.
What's the one you play now? 2K20?
Every once in a while, yes, for a good laugh.
Oh, you fucker.
That was such a dumpster fire.
That was so bad.
It was, but I enjoyed for how much of a dumpster fire it was.
There's something to be said for that. Games that are so bad that you enjoy them.
Yes, yeah. I agree. The persona I play as Trash and Treasure on stream can agree with that.
But yeah, the SmackDown 2, though, I just played a lot of like career mode, played a lot of doing my own custom pay-per-views, which I enjoyed doing that even now to this day.
That was a thing? So, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can see how good your match was for a rating and all that.
Oh, that sounds amazing. I kind of want to go back and play it now. That sounds fucking cool. I want girls fighting Big Show. Big Show versus 3 chicks. Trish Stratus, Lita, and fucking whoever the fuck else was back then. Tori Wilson.
Ivory.
Yeah. That's who because that was the one who was dating X-Pac, right?
No, that was Tori.
Oh, it was Tori. See? I know these things.
Different Tori. There was just someone. Her name was just Tori, and then Tori Wilson ended up in WWE after the buyout of WCW.
How embarrassing on me! This is going to make the wrestling episode next time really embarrassing. Boys, egg on my face.
But yeah, so SmackDown 2's number 2.
Fair.
And what's for current games,
yeah, what's your number 3?
Number 3. For current games?
Sure, whatever.
I'm gonna go with Batman Arkham Knight.
More Batman shit.
Arkham Knight better than City?
I do.
Why?
I do.
I don't get that. Why? Tell me why.
Why, you fucker?
I just enjoyed the combat and the controls out of all of it. Like, City's fine, though, but, I replayed it not long ago, and I was like, yeah, that's fine. But it's just what it was.
It's just inside.
No, I had the same experience when I replayed City. I just redid it on stream like a year ago.
Yeah.
If you guys remember, but it only took me like 6 hours. It was like 2 streams. It was done. But yeah, it was short. But I wasn't doing any of the side quests or anything either, or any of the Riddler trophies. So
I was just thinking it would have been 25 hours.
Yeah, Riddler trophies. Boy, you could have fucking been at it for 1,000 hours. Move over, Isaac.
So my problem with Arkham Knight was I felt like they overdid the tank in it, and that was like everything was revolving around the tank, and I didn't give a shit about the tank. I liked flying around the city as Batman, not in a tank.
You're right. I saw gameplay of that, and yeah, there was like literally Riddler trophies, funny enough, set up for like, you gotta drive the tank real quick and then hit a ramp in such a way, and I was like, oh, that's bad.
That was the most frustrating game to do all the Riddler trophies in. I still did them.
I still did them. This fucking animal.
I did it. I didn't like it, but I did it.
Exactly, man.
Do it.
Dude, if you were gonna ever eat that, it would poison you. I mean, I ate the fucking thing. What are you doing to yourself?
I want to hear Lad, you're defending. What are you going to defend? The tank?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I don't mind it actually, because here's the thing though, it's just optional. Like, yeah, there's some side missions that are like, oh, you got to use it, but it's not a all game thing. It's just I blame the marketing for it. For like, oh yeah, we have the tank in there. I blame them for overhyping it and just like saying, yeah, it's gonna be everywhere. It's not much of the car's not in for that much of the game anyways, so it's just certain parts. So it's not much of a problem.
Maybe it just felt long to me because I was doing all the Riddler trophies.
I just love the idea of like, all right, guys, we got the new Batman game. We got it. We need a hook. We need something. What do we got? And someone stands up and goes, I got it, guys. It's Batman, but with a tank.
Yeah. Listen, everyone loves the Batmobile. It's probably the best part of Batman. So they said, do that. Yuck.
I also felt that the third game had the weakest story of the three by far.
Is that the one where Joker dies?
I could tell the Jason Todd thing was going to happen. I called it as soon as the Red Hood thing started. I was like, that's Jason Todd. I knew immediately.
Well, that's just on their part bad thing. No, it didn't help though that there was like 1 section of the game where it was just all flashbacks to Jason Todd getting tortured by the Joker. It's like, for fuck's sake, so just don't mention it.
Yeah. I was like, why would you put this in here if it's not if the Arkham Knight is not Jason Todd? Why would you flash back to this?
If they were gonna do that though, they would have to do all the different characters that have been screwed over by Batman. Like at the kind of beginning of the game though, where they show Joker suiting Barbara Gordon, I'm like, if they did that though and use it for all the different characters, like, something for Dick Grayson and all that, or someone closer like that, it's like, okay, that keeps up the mystery enough, but for them to have one part being like, Jason Todd Sexton, it's like, ugh.
I have a question. It would have made
sense to do it for Oracle, because she was only Oracle in all the games.
Oh, that's my answer.
It should have done the flashback. It could have thrown it off. I agree.
I was gonna say, cause I like the whole fucking Barbara Gordon into Batgirl into Oracle storyline with the bullet in her spine, and I was gonna say, did they go that way? And then boom, I heard Oracle, and I'm like, all right, done, fantastic.
Yeah, but even in Arkham Asylum, it was Oracle. She wasn't Batgirl. It was after Batgirl was done. So
in number, yeah.
He definitely talked to her in Asylum. I don't remember if they showed her, but they definitely showed her in City.
Did they do the Firefly thing with her? Firefly and his flamethrower and all that. I don't know how. I mean, I love the Batgirl story quite a bit. I mean, fuck the CW TV show. I'm talking the actual comic book version, right? I love it. I think it's some of the best writing in the Batman series. In fact, I actually love the whole. What are they called? Gotham City Vixens or whatever the fuck? With the whole Harley Quinn and Ivy go on a lesbian runaway romp, and then they start fucking with Superman in his fucking city. It's a great fucking side story. It's fucking great. Fucking Harley Quinn's fucking with little Jimmy from the Superman universe, his little boyfriend. It's really good. It's a really good read. And then Joker's all pissed off, but then Ivy's legitimately probably one of the strongest villains in Batman.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's all the Batman knowledge I had. I felt left out. Fair. I'm so sorry.
No, fair enough.
I derailed it on you.
But just going back to the game, I think it still is the best looking game, even compared to any of the games today, though, it still looks great.
What, just any game?
Yes.
It looks
like any of the
really
current games that are out
game.
right now.
What's it called?
Still holds.
Arkham Knight?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to Google it after this fucking episode's done recording. I will fucking hold you to your word, and I will absolutely humble you the next time you're on if it's shit looking. If it fucking is aged in any sort of way.
Like I said, it's my opinion, though, but for me, though, I just think all the current games are kind of like, eh. Oh, Last of Us looks beautiful with the mountains. Who cares?
Oh my god, look, a giraffe got out of the zoo. It's so cute up on the second story. Nah, it's not. Giraffes fucking stink. You ever see a giraffe up close? It sucks. It's a horse with a neck problem. Fuck it.
That's the thing too. Like people talk about graphics and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and it's such a subjective thing.
It is.
I typically don't care that much about it. Obviously, like you guys see how much I still play retro games and all that.
right.
But like, because like part of the conversation I had with Kagon last night, we were talking about. So I just got the Xbox Series X, and I prefer, like, I love the Switch, but it's it's an inferior system as far as specs go. It's just not as powerful as the PS5 or the Xbox.
As is typical of Nintendo.
Right. Yeah. And so, but like, so he said that, like, oh, I wonder now that once you have some time with the Series X, if your opinion of the Switch is going to change because of the games that you're going to be able to play, or the way you'll be playing games on that. And I said maybe, but I feel like for me personally, it's not going to matter that much, because like, I've never been a graphics guy. I've never really been a big performance guy. Like, I just, not that like I don't even know if I don't care about it. I don't notice that stuff a lot. Like, I see people talk about games, like people were harping on like Pokemon, like Sword and Shield, and they were talking about like some of the graphics, and I'm just like, okay, if that matters to you, great. Like, I don't notice that stuff while I'm playing typically. Like, maybe that's just, I'm just oblivious, and I'm a Neanderthal when it comes to that stuff. But
I think there's 2 points to be made there. Like, the first one, I think I would assume a lot of people also differentiate between like graphic quality and art direction. A strong art direction, fuck your quality, right? Like, there's a lot of great games that, like, look, one of the coolest things now, Lad knows this too. He was just posting it there in the Discord. D-makes, making games look shittier, right? Mm-hmm. They look awesome.
Bloodborne.
Yeah, Bloodborne D-make. It looks fucking cool. There's a game called it's got the world's shittiest name intentionally. It's like 1999 Sony horror or something experience. Like, just the world's shittiest name, but it fucking is that old Silent Hill, looks like garbage looking game, but it's fucking spooky. It's good shit to it, you know?
You know, I didn't think that Silent Hill looked as bad as I remember it being when I played it. I just played it this year. Silent Hill 1 was last year, but this year was Silent Hill 2. I don't remember the graphics. I don't remember them being bad. And
2 is
when I
better.
replayed it, I was like, bad.
No, 2 is a big step up. 1 is awful. I love 1 too. 1 is a great game. The graphics are awful.
I didn't think they were that bad.
They're horrendous. They're fucking such shit. Oh my god, it's a spook.
No. Go back and play, like, I'm comparing it to, like, the stuff that I remember being bad. GoldenEye on the N64. Remember how bad the graphics look on that game?
Yeah.
It was fun as hell, but it was ugly.
Yeah.
A muddled face with not even having eye holes and shit. Like, it's just shaded. It's just like a smooth surface with just eyes kind of like glued on there. They look like knees.
Who's the first person? Who's the first person going to do the squall reference for Final Fantasy VIII? Oh, you're the handsomest guy here. When his pixels barely resemble a face, they're just black squiggles on a fucking, like, yeah, all right, sure. No, I compare it because I'm fair. I'm fair. I'll compare it to other horror games at the time. You know, Resident Evil Director's Cut, it looked a little better. Dino Crisis, still one of the best looking games as far as horror games go. Clock Tower, no, I'm just kidding. Clock Tower is a fucking wreck. Holy shit. I've never played a game I've been more upset with than that fucking Clock Tower game. Such an awful
That one
game.
I've never played, so I don't know.
Oh. You guys ever hear of Mizurna Falls? Oh my God! Wait a sec. Do we want to do this? I'm about to get into obscure PS1 horror. That's a deep well.
I am totally down for this.
Do you guys remember Mizurna Falls, which was a Japanese version of what's the fucking show? What's the show called? David Lynch.
Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks. It was Japanese version of Twin Peaks, and it was a horror PS1 game. And you're in like this little snowy Colorado village, and it's just Twin Peaks essentially. That's all it is. A murder happens, and then shit starts pre-starting. It's funny enough. It's pretty much what ended up being, although much more competent, Deadly Premonition.
Oh yeah.
Anyone remember Deadly Premonition?
Never played it.
The Sinner Sandwich.
Yeah, exactly. The Sinner Sandwich, which was a dry turkey sandwich with strawberries, and then on top was Kellogg's cornflakes, because only evil people can eat that. That's from Deadly Premonition. Deadly Premonition wanted to be a horror game for the PS3 era, based around what the fuck was David Lynch's TV show again?
Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks. I keep wanting to say Silent Hill. Based around Twin fucking Peaks, right? But it was awful. It was incompetent on every fucking level, which is great, which is fantastic. Maybe fucking no one's done it here, not at all.
No,
that one's like a famous bad game. I'm gonna have to fucking stream that. Apparently, I'm adding it to the list. I'm streaming that motherfucker.
Episode 5, you should do a horror game episode. I would be totally down to talk about horror games forever.
I would do that, man. There's so many good ones. What would you Dracula? You like Dracula?
The only experience I had with Dracula was watching you play.
You should play some fucking Dracula. What about you? I know Aurethious doesn't like horror. What's your favorite horror game though? It's gotta be something.
I don't know. I probably don't have one because I just steer clear of them. I can't tell you one I've played. I guess the closest you could say it would be like Left 4 Dead 2.
Yeah, I count that. It's action-y.
I guess that'd be it because I don't. Like I said, I don't. I guess the only other horror game I've ever played is the 10 minutes I played of Resident Evil for the Ion Game Challenge.
That's true. That's a horror game. For the 10 minutes before you said, "Well, this game fucking stinks," and
I've played games that are a horror, but I don't typically play horror games.
Shadow the Hedgehog. That's fair.
I'd have to look at maybe an older list of, but horror is not my bag, so I don't seek it out.
Playing horror.
Go to the Splatterhouse.
Splatterhouse, man. Yeah, Splatterhouse rules. I still, to this day, have not played the PS3 Splatterhouse. I want to so bad. I heard it's a fucking wreck, but I want to so bad.
There you go. This year for Spooktober for you.
Physical copies go for fucking $120.
Then emulate it.
I guess. Yeah. I've never thought about emulating up to PS3. That sounds like a heavy load.
I don't know if there is a PS3 emulator.
I don't know.
I think there is now.
You think there might be now? Maybe. Yeah. It is 2 generations old now.
I was looking up Xbox ones the other day, and there's no good Xbox emulators. Even of classic Xbox.
The original Xbox.
There's one that barely works.
The original,
60%.
Because the original is PS2 era.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll look into that then, because I would love to fucking play that. And the old Splatterhouse games, for anyone who doesn't know, there was a bunch of Japanese people said I was gonna do an impression of a Japanese guy. Wait a sec. They said I love horror. I said not quite. And so they just crammed in a bunch of shit. You got the build and outfit of you got the hockey mask and shit, and you're going through levels fighting like bat demons and shit. It's a side scroller horror game, like a little platformer type one. It's good fun. And then it was super illegal because it was just ripping off everything. And eventually it was so cult classic they remade it for PS3, but the art director took all the notes he got from the original company in Japan and said, I'm an American, I know how to do this. And it was fucking horrendous what he made. It was fucking awful. Like TV-headed monsters where they have a hose coming on the screen to their dick and shit, because that's horror, baby. No, it's just kind of fucking weird. It has nothing to do with horror.
That's just hostile.
That's just hostile. Don't be hostile. But yeah, I would love to do a horror fucking episode. I hate horror playing it and stuff, but I will go pour myself a nice drink or something and read through a plot synopsis of like old horror games because I love the stories in them. It's just being in that scares the fuck out of me. I did Pathologic 2 on stream recently. I was fucking scared out of my wits. That game, because it's Russian, and Russians are creepy motherfuckers. That game has got atmosphere out the ass. Like you go into a abandoned house, which has been set up over the top, abandoned house. You know, there's no burglars, no nothing. And the moment you walk in, you hear like 7 people laughing upstairs. Laughing not happily either, like manic laughing. And you're climbing up to the upstairs and you're like, you're freaking out. You got surround sound on you. It's fucking great. I do appreciate horror, but I just can't do it myself. No fucking
I think the most
way.
scared I've ever seen you was Bigfoot. That was hilarious.
Yeah, exactly. Bigfoot, yeah, that one's the most I can do, and even then, that was some pretty tense shit. I was shaking. You ever have that where something happens, like a loud noise happens, and like a fainting goat, you lock up? That was me playing Bigfoot. There was a couple times where, oh my elbow, oh fuck. My top 3 is simple. I'm a very simple man. Number 1, Ape Escape. Huh?
Yeah.
I dare you, fight me.
I'm not gonna fight you on that. I agreed. It was a fun game.
Fun,
not
number
my
one,
top 3, but it was fun. I enjoyed it.
It's funny. We were talking about like graphics and stuff earlier, like good graphics versus art direction. That game purely lives in art direction because the graphics, even for back then, are like oof. Oof.
That's why you got to upgrade them with your emulator, like I did.
Perhaps so, man. You're playing on my old PS1, and I can literally count the pixels in Spike's shirt. It's like he's wearing a cardboard box for his shirt. You're like,
it's like 4 of them organized into like various square shapes.
they put like, oh my god, 32 polygons to build Natalie's ass, and then they made 4 for her shoes. Like, what a game! Oh, Japan, keep hitting those home runs.
I want to know where he gets all those square shirts from.
Yeah, how much starch does he have in his fucking laundry, huh? Yeah, that's Ape Escape. I mean, it is what it is. I just love the story. I love the music of that. Everything's just so great about that. I would say
I think everyone in this chat has beaten Ape Escape now, right? Lad, have you beaten Ape Escape?
No.
Have you played Ape Escape?
I played it, but I have not beaten it.
How far did you get?
Lad has beaten Ape Escape vicariously through trash.
Perhaps.
That's close enough.
I've seen it all. I don't need to play it. How far did you get, Lad?
Far enough to get enough Spectre coins just to play monkey boxing.
That's true. Once you get monkey boxing, fuck the rest. Did you guys play any of the mini games?
Mm-mm.
I think both you. Maybe monkey boxing probably wouldn't be your guys' jam, but Galaxy Monkey I think would actually be both up Zex and Ori's fucking in their hit zone. Yeah, it's a really good. It's a stick shooter. All right, dual stick shooter, and it's just fucking good, but it's an endurance one. It is a roguelike. The fucking Galaxy Monkey is a space roguelike without items. No, actually, that's not true. There is items, too. Holy shit, Zex. It is perfect. You should do an 8-hour stream of it.
8-hour stream of that.
8-hour stream of Galaxy Monkey.
Just fuck space Ski Kids.
Yeah, don't do Ski Kids Racing. It fucking stinks. The music's great. Everything else about it stinks.
Okay.
I would say game.
I'll put it on the list.
Was that?
I'll put it on the list.
Sounds good. Yeah. I'll put. Yes. Our lists are building all of a sudden. I would say number 2 would be Nier Automata. That game we already talked about it too, which but like art direction, the music, everything's fucking good. The story, I love the fact that you talk about the story takes twists. The fucking gameplay takes twists. Every fucking 4 minutes, the gameplay changes to something different, like that was never in the game before. Holy shit, it's a top-down shooter. Holy shit, it's a 3D bullet hell. Holy shit, it's hack and slash.
This is the only game I've ever played that did that. That's one of the things I have enjoyed a lot about this. Is like, yeah, you never know what you're going to be doing. You could be doing, a rail shooter. You could be doing, or not a rail shooter. What the hell they call it? What's the word for the plane? Like Galaga. Where
Yeah,
there's
I consider that a typical bullet hell. Just a straight up or straight sideways. Yeah.
Yeah, so that, and then you got the regular
Or a shmup,
combat,
a shoot 'em up shmup.
Yeah, shoot 'em up, and
Yeah.
the hacking, and the it's all over the place, but it's done. All of them are done well across the board.
Exactly, and what's cool too is that they'll do it. They'll set a pattern maybe, and then you can be like fucking 80% into the game, and then guess what? Oh, hacking's different now. Congrats, you have a different objective completely. Or holy shit, you like hack and slash? Guess what? Now you're not actually using your swords at all. You've been hacked yourself now. Like, it's fucking, I love that fucking game so much.
It's just like last night, like the hacking completely changed. I'm on the 3rd playthrough of the game, and I'm almost 40 hours into the plot, into my save files. 40 hours almost. And this is the first time I've seen a hack like that.
Where it turned into you?
It wasn't just a quick one. It was, you have to progress through different areas in the hack to get to the final objective to do, the open the jammer or whatever it was.
Well, I love that too. 40 hours into the playthrough, man. That's one story. That's not looping or nothing. Like, it's just ages of game, and it's all so well polished. And the story too, we got to be careful. Zex is not finished yet.
And the spoilers.
But holy fuck balls. Holy fuck, what a great game. Fantastic game. Can't wait. Yeah, and then the 3rd game we also brought up already. My top 3 stinks. They're full of spoilers. Everyone knows them. Was Valkyria Chronicles. Barely. That 3rd place has got a lot of competition, but Valkyria Chronicles, the first one, barely ekes out. It is one of the most well put together, where Nier Automata is the best game ever made as far as me like playing it, right? It's because it covers so much. It does so much, and it does it so well. Where Valkyria Chronicles does the one thing super perfect. It does army, simulator, RPG perfectly. Yes, I would highly recommend anyone who hasn't tried it, go get that. You can still get the first one. They did an HD remake, which I don't necessarily agree with, but if you've not paid money for the first one, then I guess it's fine. I don't like remakes, but yeah, they just released the remake 2 years ago, and it's a really good game. Really good game. Yes, but
so out of all the games, the best game by vote is Batman Arkham Knight.
I mean, technically,
if I was going to vote on one of them, I would have voted City. So no, it wouldn't be Knight.
Listen. That's called democracy, and this is a dictatorship, motherfuckers. It says this is a big
trash show.
This is a BBD, a big black dictatorship over this motherfucker. So no, not happening. The best game by vote that we all agreed with, because it's the one we talked about the most, Shadow the Hedgehog. That's
I agree with that.
That's the one we all know about. That's the one we've all experienced. It's the one that's touched us the most in our daily lives.
There's a reason why there's a shadow emote on the Ion Discord.
That's right, it exists.
Give it the crown.
It's the best. It is the greatest. Speaking of the Ion Game Corner Discord, I am a member. Me, under the name Trash and Treasure, am a member of the Ion Game Corner Discord. Aurethious is a member of the Ion Game Corner Discord. Zexxios is also a member of the Ion Game Corner Discord. Lad is there too, but he's also technically a member, but he's not a creator member. He's just there. I'm
a lurker.
A lurker, yeah, yes, a professional lurker. So with that,
that's a lurker until someone says something stupid that really pisses him off.
Well, or unless SFG says anything now. Then fucking stand back. Some bullying's about to happen. It's like that. Tangent, real short tangent here. Okay. I like checking out like funny pictures and small like little webms and stuff. That's like my pastime when I'm killing time, like trying to go to bed or something. And I saw one that made me laugh, and I'll always remember it because anytime SFG comes up, it's kind of relatable, and it's these Omegle, and it's this fucking dude who looks like 35, jacked, right, long hair. He looks like a douche. He looks like a problem, and he matches up with some kid who's like 11 and crying with the emo haircut, right? What's the problem, kid? I'm crying because I was just bullied for being gay. And then the guy sits there for a second and starts, well, it's about to happen again. And the video cuts. And it's just like, every time SFG says something and I see Lad start typing, I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go.
Here it comes.
Here it comes. Well, it's about to happen again. Oh, fuck. It's just, every time I see that, I think of that. Yeah, it is what it is, but fuck. No. With that said, Ion Game Corner Discord, Aurethious, would you mind plugging it a bit for me while I take a sip?
Sure. If you're interested in joining us, you can go to iongamecorner.com. Zex was wonderful enough to set up a redirect link to the Discord server.
Yep.
We have our cast of content creators doing Twitch stuff, YouTube stuff, podcasts now, all sorts of fun stuff for you guys to check out. It's a very diverse group of characters that we have, so as you can tell just from some of the stuff that we've all discussed as favorite games.
Exactly. It's this crew here, and then add more members with even more. It's just crazy.
So I always like to say on stream when I'm talking about it is that you're bound to find somebody who's doing something that you're interested in, because we do cover a vast variety of games. On top of the content, we have our community game nights we've been doing on Fridays, which have been a lot of fun. We get together, we play games like Rocket League, Crossout, League of Legends, anything else. Pokemon Unite's been done. Sometimes we have 2 groups running games on Fridays, so if you're interested in just hanging out with people and playing fun games, you can check that out as well. And we'll mention we have some Pokemon leagues and tournaments, so if you're into Pokemon battling.
Yeah, a lot of
for you there.
So much Pokemon in the Discord, and I'm sick of it.
Well, the thing, and I mean it's completely my fault. So when I started, the Ion Game Corner, years and years ago, the one thing that kind of took off with it was Pokemon, because it was a game I was playing a lot, and it was easy for me to bring in Pokemon players for leagues, tournaments, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it sort of became the de facto kind of maiden thing going on, which is why I'm kind of glad it's gone in the direction that it is. Nothing against Pokemon. I like Pokemon. I enjoy it.
Sure.
But I like having that more broad landscape that we have now with other things. But we do still have a proliferation of Pokemon players.
So because of something you did when you were younger, it still sticks around now. So you admit Pokemon is the herpes of Ion.
Somewhat, yes.
Good. I'm glad we're in agreement.
I mean, you can treat it, but it never goes away.
There you go, exactly. And it just itches. It just annoys you sometimes. But no, one day soon, hopefully, as far as however I do these episodes, I do want to do Pokemon versus Digimon. Because I think I found a way to get people to realize, listen, it's not a ripoff. Digimon's its own thing. It's its own thing. So I want to tease that. I just want to tease all future episodes, because once again, this was an directionless, tangent-filled whatever. There was no topic. Future episodes will be hyper-focused on topics. Just wanted to reiterate that. Back to you, Chief. Plug yourself. Let's wrap this up here.
All right. You can catch me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Aurethious. You can catch me on Twitter. I'm getting better at tweeting things other than, hey, guys, I'm streaming.
Yep.
So it's at Aurethious on Twitter. Again, Ion Game Corner Discord server is where we like to hang out. And I also have the Arena of Aurethious podcast, which you can get in video form on YouTube. I would give my YouTube link, but I'm not popular enough on YouTube to have a very easy link. So if you would come and subscribe to my YouTube so I could get a simple link.
All letters and numbers.
Yeah, that would be great. And then it's also available in audio form on Spotify. If you just search for Arena of Aurethious, you should be able to find it.
And of course, I will include the links everywhere. Wherever this podcast goes, it will be there for people to easily follow too.
I'm good. Zex, take it away.
Oh, is that who you're pointing at? I just see you pointing forward. You're not pointing down to me or anything.
I'm sorry. Zex!
So now you're pointing up the opposite way that I'm looking.
Yeah.
Depends. On your screen, when this episode's finished, you're over fucking there.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, I stream on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. If you want to watch, you can chat there. I actually re-enabled my chat so that I can see all three on my on-screen chat. So, you can chat from any of them that you want, and got some cool improvements. I mostly stream variety. Right now I'm playing Nier Automata. I'm going to be doing a 100% Ocarina of Time run soon. I'm going to be playing Elden Ring. Who knows what's coming up. I've got a huge game backlog and tons of stuff to do. So, yeah, come check it out.
Good fun on that. And then, Lad?
Well, this is going to be interesting because I got really not much to plug. Just I'll be around, lurking around these three guys' stream, or the Ion Discord. Once again, just lurking around.
My thing is too, and this is one thing I want to reiterate. I reiterated off episode, but now that we're recording it, is that this episode 2 was also, I wanted to introduce you three because in future episodes I plan on having you guys back fairly regularly. So it just felt smart. A, get a practice episode done, and B, get people knowing the characters that are going to start showing up more and more. So that's it. I do appreciate you guys not only A, putting up with recording this long ass nonsense, but B, sitting here for 2 hours of my awful, tasteless, awful jokes and nastiness. I do appreciate that. And I thank you all guys for coming on. And I can't wait to see you the listeners / viewers, and you three on future episodes. So until then, I hope everyone here has a good one. Everyone say goodbye to me, you fuckers. You guys are terrible guests. Wish your master goodbye.
Bye, trash.
Later now. Have a good one.
Fuckers.